It's another special episode of Focus on. Hello and welcome. I'm Akin Obake. Today's episode centers on the second edition of the Anambra State Investment Summit, a summit that brought together captains of industry, development partners, and financial institutions to take advantage of the drive by the Anambra State government to become the choice destination hub for investors. Let's go through some key highlights from the events. It's the second edition of the Anambra State Investment Summit, termed An Invest 2.0, put together by the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency under the theme, Changing Gears, Accelerating Anambra Economic Transformation. The event promises to be a movement that will see the state shift from being a departure land to a destination hub. Governor of the state, Chukwuma Soludo, sets the tone of the event with the agenda of his government.
The fundamentals are very strong. We're doing everything to de-risk the investment. We're now investing very heavily now on security. And I can tell you in the coming weeks and months, it will not only be talked about, you will not only feel it, you will touch it. That Anambra will become one of the safest states to do business. We're not joking about it. We've taken it as a big, massive challenge that we need to sort out. We're asking people to invest in Anambra, not to do us a favor. We're asking people to invest in Anambra in their own self-interest. Because just like Dr. Madoka said, we don't get to an investor and say, come and help me. No. Money will go to where it is safe and it is profitable. It can make money. And I tell you, those who take up now in Anambra, especially in the new cities that we are building, 3 new cities, the mixed-use industrial city, the Oka 2.0, and the Onitsha 2.0. If you take the investment there today, in some years to come, you will compare with other locations where you have investment in terms of return on investment. There are about 11 companies now slated that I will be going for their commissioning ceremonies. People know why they are here. Those who are in are expanding. And those who are still out there doing analysis, those who are in today, in a few years' time, will be able to tell the story. So I don't preach to people about investment. I tell you, we are de-risking that. Like the mixed-use industrial city, we are taking electricity power direct to the place with a substation to bring it down so that you can have 22, 24-hour electricity. And we have commissioned the building of basic infrastructure in the place. We will be de-risking this, bringing down, lowering the cost of doing business. It's not by accident that Anambra is rated #1 on ease of doing business of the 17 states in southern Nigeria. We are very deliberate, very intentional about this. Our opportunities are clear. Here we're presenting you with bankable projects. Bankable projects. The industrial city, very bankable. In the first quarter next year, we'll begin the journey in developing that 4,000 plus in mixed industrial city, as it were. So what we say to you is that we are set. Is that the 10-storied Marriott Hotel? That's part of the things we'll probably be signing here. The piling is already ongoing. So it's not a proposal, it's ongoing, if you want to. Our Fund City is ongoing, nearly about 90% completed. We're asking you to come and join. And we have a new city as well that we'll be developing, Agolo Lake area that we'll be developing. Another city, about 200 hectares, that will be the future entertainment leisure city of not only Nigeria, but of West Africa. Because the Fund City that we're building, I understand will be the biggest in West Africa. upon completion in the next few months. And our job, mission, is to turn Anambra from being a departure lounge to a destination. And that's where we are trying to build all these things that will attract you and make this home. I made a commitment on my swearing in there that my commitment is to help to build a state where I would like to live after leaving office. And that commitment is very firm. I'm very deliberate about it. We're building a state that I will be proud to live in. And so we want to put in all those things that I would be glad to enjoy in my state. And as day follows night, we are working 24/7 to make sure that we get those done.
With projects like the mixed-use industrial city, the Oka 2.0 and Onitsha 2.0, among other infrastructure works, Managing Director of the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, Mark Okoye, believes these projects reflect a strategic focus on the future.
This year, we are taking the next step in our journey. Changing gears requires not just momentum, but a strategic focus on the future. Despite the challenges we faced, it is clear that the role of policymakers is to come up with actionable solutions that make a tangible difference in the lives of our residents. Governor Soludo and his team, which I'm a proud member of, have shown unwavering dedication to transforming Anambra from a place of opportunity to a destination for investment and prosperity. The goal is simple: to make Anambra a beacon of sustainable growth and economic development. This summit is a critical part of the vision. It's our collective duty to focus on long-term planning and the creation of a framework that will ensure the sustainable growth of our economy, one that guarantees prosperity and transformation, not just today, but for generations to come. As someone who has had the privilege of serving in the state government for the past 12 to 13 years, I can say with certainty and sincerity that the foundation Governor Soludo is laying today will be fully and deeply appreciated in the future when the positive impact of his work will be felt by generations that follow and generations unborn. Our approach has been very clear. We are no longer dreaming about development, as he tells us. We are preparing for it. The Soludo administration is leading the charge in ensuring that projects are not merely conceptualized, but they are investment ready. Through strategic investments in key infrastructure, including land acquisition, master planning, special economic zone status applications, and essential utilities such as power and water, we are ensuring that our projects are not only bankable, but they are sustainable. This level of preparation is the big difference between how we view project development today compared to the past. It is the model that can position Anambra and Nigeria as a whole on a trajectory of growth that will unlock billions of dollars of investment that are currently sitting idle due to lack of preparation and foresight. At this summit, we are presenting a range of projects that are ripe for investment.
Anambra plays host to several businesses, small, medium, and large enterprises, which have added to Nigeria's economic growth. The Nigerian government shows its readiness to do business with the state in strategic areas.
I'm particularly pleased with the theme, changing gears, accelerating economic transformation, because it embodies a commitment to propelling the state for economic transformation. It also recognizes the urgency of looking beyond traditional sectors by harnessing technology and creativity, enhancing connectivity and accessibility, and the strengthening empowerment of human capital, which is the greatest asset of any people. Our presence here demonstrates the need to leverage on the strengths for rapid growth, strategic trade, enhanced revenue generation, and elevated global impact. This we can achieve through collaborating with the state to showcase investment opportunities in key sectors such as power, oil and gas, technology, leisure and entertainment, culture and creative economy, and agro-industrialization. 2, empowering human capital through education, training, and skills development programs, aligning with the state's vision for economic transformation. 3, facilitating partnerships between investors, government agencies, and local stakeholders to drive economic growth and development.
The Anambra Mixed-Use Industrial City project with the SAPZ and the ATC project all intertwined embodies our commitment to agricultural industrialization. This flagship project will create jobs, attract investment, and enhance food security through improved processing and distribution. NALDA is committed to promoting agricultural growth, empowering sustainable development, and fostering economic prosperity. And we are ready to partner with Anambra State on this project. In Anambra State, agriculture accounts for a substantial share of the GDP, approximately 23%. Our partnership with the state government aims to revolutionize the agricultural sector by focusing on primary production as well as value addition. This collaborative effort will concentrate on cultivating key crops of comparative advantage, such as oil palm, rice, citrus fruit, maize, cassava, which are already thriving in the state. To achieve this goal, we will partner in the establishment of agro-parks, and these keys into the ATC that AFDB is talking about, so we can provide source for the factories that would be in the industrial zone. We are very critical to rural development because we believe in the use of agriculture to stimulate our rural communities. This innovative strategy prioritizes the need of our local farmers, fostering a collaborative environment where expertise and resources are shared to maximize yield and profitability.
We identify Anambra as a partner that we have to work with. When I came in, the first city I visited was Nnewi, and it's for strategic reason. Nnewi happened to be a city that have a lot of clusters, especially auto clusters. And we have identified that this city alone can make us achieve part of our mandate. We have mandate to ensure that we promote local components because we want auto local components to be manufactured in Nigeria. We don't want to be manufacturing vehicle alone. We want to be manufacturing the components. And when we have the opportunities of bringing down to Nigeria the vehicle manufacturers from Africa, South Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Ghana, one of the places we visited, in fact, the city where we have more component manufacturers was Nnewi, and we took them there. Now we have identified those components that Anambra State can produce. And we are working with existing component manufacturers to ensure one thing, that they have the capacity to produce them. And with the capacity, we are going to use the deletion policy to encourage them in order to ensure that those components are no longer imported because we have what it takes to produce them in Anambra.
Development partners, financial institutions, and local investors present at the event speak to the need for rapid development at the subnational level through partnerships.
We see where the trends are going. Development financing is shifting. The good old days when we have overseas development assistance are almost over. Humanitarian financing is also shifting. It is going to where the crisis is. Now, what does it mean for us? It means that Anambra and the people of Nigeria must begin to look internally in terms of how do we create wealth for our people. The second reason why it matters is because of the development imperatives. As we are today, we just came back from New York a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about the Sustainable Development Goals and the Pact for the Future. As we stand now, with only 12% of the SDGs are on track. 50% are neither here nor there, and the rest of them are stagnating. In other words, for a country like this that is the largest in the continent and the anchor of Africa, we must be able to make the shift when it comes to the development agenda. That is why it matters. And the third reason why it matters is because of the need for economic competitiveness. Africa is still playing catching up in many ways. And we need to be able to move the needle on development. And finally, why does it matter? It matters because we are in times of crisis and uncertainties. Today is climate change, tomorrow is war, it is COVID. For us to be able to be resilient to crisis and shocks, we need to find solutions, and that's why we are here to support the solutions agenda as United Nations Development Program. The other thing is the infrastructure development is going to be very important. There is no way that we can push the needle on investment when we don't address the infrastructure question, particularly the energy question. There is no way. And therefore, Anambra needs to keep an eye on investing in some of these spaces.
Anambra's population at over 8 million people is young, entrepreneurial, and ambitious. In Nigeria, over 65% of the population is under the age of 35, and Anambra reflects this demographic structure. These young citizens are not only the future workforce, but also potential innovators and leaders of industries. With the right skills and infrastructure, this demographic can become a powerful driver of economic growth, supporting Nigeria's target of creating 25 million new jobs by 2030. Moreover, Anambra boasts of over $12.5 billion in GDP, driven primarily from trade, services, and manufacturing. With this solid economic foundation and fundamental, the state has a great potential to scale up its industrial sector. Yet, despite these challenges, Anambra's contribution to Nigeria's manufacturing sector has not reached its potential. The nationwide manufacturing accounts for about 9% of Nigeria's GDP, compared to 30% in middle-income countries like South Africa. For Anambra State to achieve similar levels, we need focused investment in industrial infrastructure, skills development, and access to financing. This is where Afrexim Bank partnership with Anambra State comes in. We play a critical role. We are committed to providing projects, preparation, and advisory services that will not only strengthen Anambra's industrial base, but also enhance its capacity to attract international investors. The second point I want to raise is the transformational impact of Anambra State's mixed-use industrial city. At the heart of the ambitious development blueprint is the Anambra Mixed-Use Industrial City, a transformational initiative that will drive economic growth, stimulate industrial production, and create a wide variety of jobs across different sectors, including manufacturing, logistics, retail services, and construction, with opportunities for skills development. If I look at the third area I wanted to speak about, that would be lessons from Afrexim Bank's experience in developing industrial parks in Africa. Afrexim Bank is cognizant that most economies with the fastest growing exports have well-developed special economic zones program, which have led to employment creation. The SEZ also helped to structurally transform economies away from informalities, promoting industrialization and exporting the growth of intra-African trade and investment. The bank's commitment to industrialization extends beyond financial support. We actively support and collaborate with our partner to share knowledge and expertise. Through our Fund for Export Development in Africa, FEDA, we have invested significantly in ARISE Integrated Industrial Platform, ARISE IIP, one of Africa's leading developers and operators of industrial parks.
When we create the right environment, we will attract investment to the state. And I think a lot of people are surprised about the good works our governor is doing in the state. But frankly speaking, I'm not surprised because it's exactly what I expect him to do. He understands what it is. He understands what is required. So he's taking the bull by his horn and addressing the key issue that will be catalyst for investment capital to come into this state. I am one of those who are calling Anambranians to say, please let us look home. The time has come for looking back home. Everything that is required is available. All I will ask our governor to do is to still have a smaller meeting where we can get key Anambranians. Today, I came with one of ours who had built a factory in Sokoto, built one in Lagos. I wanted to build the third one. I said, no, we're going to Anambra. You have 44 billion available to you to invest. Let's go. I'm going to talk to the governor. You say certificate of occupancy is the problem. I will get it signed 24 hours. And he's here, sitting here, a young man here. Because there's some of them we have built who has the capacity. We can transform this state and make it great.
What we're seeing is that people are now beginning to have confidence in the state. And with that confidence that is coming back to Anambra State, we will see development. I am here as an industrialist. We are asking that all support that we are needed will be given by creating the enabling environment, which I know that the governor is not unfamiliar with. The governor knows what to do, and we will do the best in the area of energy, power. I am with EEDC, and we continue to do our best. It's not easy. It's not easy because there are laws that are needed. If these laws are put in place, the legislative area arm of the government, that is the House of Assembly, will help us to make sure that all users of electricity pay their bills. By the time they pay their bills and the infrastructure that are laid are not distorted, we will be able to continue to provide our own services and continue to support Anambra State.
So please, a round of applause for the UNDP and Anambra State government.
Another major highlight of the event was the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the state and investors who indicated interest in various sectors in the state. We caught up with some of the investors on their rationale for keying into the government's development agenda.
You want to be able to invest where you can get a good return on investment, where your investment is secure, but most importantly, you have the enabling environment for doing business. I see in Anambra a state that first is led with the private sector in mind. They're putting in enabling policies that unlock the potentials of the private sector, that allows those of us that want to make an investment to invest. First, the security is coming into the state. There's good infrastructure with the new industrial park, the new parks that they're setting up, new hubs. The fact that there's now close proximity to an airport, which makes it easy to come from anywhere in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. I think the ease of doing business is really good. Expedited approvals for building, for land, for pharmaceutical companies that want to come in and to co-invest. Also setting up export processing zones that will give you tax breaks and tax incentives. So in line with what the federal government is doing, the state is thinking in the same portion, but really it is quite easy to do business in Anambra.
So we are doing a couple of things with Anambra, which is very exciting. First of all, we are looking at the innovation and the youth space. For you to be able to move the development agenda forward, you need to invest with young people who are innovating here. And so we did break grounds yesterday on an innovative space, what we are calling a maker space. Where is that space where young people go to, where they can create? Where is that space where young people can go to, where they can prototype? Where is that space where they can collaborate with one another? And we are grateful to the governor for giving us a space here to co-create this state-of-the-art space where we would also have CNC machines and other things where they can do stuff. So that's one of the big things that we are doing here. But also the question around energy. There is no way you move the development agenda forward and be able to push investments when you have deficiency in energy. And therefore, we are looking at also potentials for renewables, where we are looking at solar and other spaces where we can move that energy question.
The event witnessed 2 panel sessions where key issues were discussed. But that's all on this episode of Focus On. I'm Akin Obakeye. Until next time, it's bye for now.